Kyrie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
Hello, we're talking some political stuff. If you don't like, please don't watch. Otherwise, feel free to comment. Thanks. Bye. Good morning. Santa hat's not on yet. It's actually fairly nice upstairs, so not very cold. And I thought I'd do a non-liturgical, non-faith, non-religious based little podcast this morning. It's a little break in things. If you have never watched Scott Adams or read Dilbert, I've never read Dilbert. You know, it was a cartoon that never appealed to me back in the day when it was big. I was still absorbing The Far Side and Calvin and Hobbes and Bloom County when it was on. But Dilbert's been around for a long time and had a long run. And I think for people who live in corporate America, they can relate to it. So Scott Adams made his name in writing Dilbert, and then has gone on to write a number of books on various topics, commentary on what you might want to call life, on work. It even entered into politics in the last few years. He was one of the first people to talk about that he saw that President Trump was going to win, and people were up in arms about it. First of all, they mocked him, and then they were up in arms about him. Now, this is a guy who gets labeled a like super Trump supporter, like he's some sort of ultra conservative, and yet he is a self-proclaimed liberal. In fact, a very extreme liberal in his own mindset. And I would say liberal in terms of what he values about liberty and freedom and not regulating things. He's definitely on the left. He's not on the right. But he's worth listening to. We live in such polarizing times that if all we ever listen to is our own echo chamber, it only confirms our own bias. And here's the sad thing. It makes us increasingly hostile and uncharitable to those who we disagree with politically. And politics is just life, the life of the city. That's what politics means. And yet it has become for so many people, especially those without a religion or active faith life, their faith life, their belief system. There was one of the candidates running for president last week who said that anybody who supports the current administration is racist, or at least soft on racism. Really, I mean, that's an unbelievable, huge brush to paint with. So, you know, I don't have time for that garbage. That guy would never get my vote, even if he had 8 things that I thought he was good at and could appeal to me when I thought would be good for the nation. The fact that he thinks anybody who supported the other side is carte blanche racist is insane in my mind. It is the laziest, most harmful type of thinking that you can engage in. That you do not address the individual, you group people so that you can dismiss them categorically. Which is what racism does. How ironic, huh? Thank you, Democratic candidate. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about whether you vote for Democrat or Republican. Scott Adams has a great theory called the two movies, and I'm going to try to put a link of it down in the descriptions, that you ought to look into. And he talks about how can people look at the same reality and see two different things. And so this thing goes back to 2017. I don't know when he first posited it, but it was probably sometime after the 2016 election when he just observed people watching the same news, looking at the same reality, and drawing two vastly different conclusions from it. And that's the two movies theory. And I think it's valid. I think it's, maybe there's more than even two movies, but there's definitely two movies based on on the person of our current president, of those who support him and those who adamantly oppose him. So it's very much worth looking into, and I'd recommend his podcast. I listen to him in the background quite a bit. I think he's pretty insightful. Don't agree with him on everything, but that's okay. The only one I'm supposed to agree on everything about is God, nobody else. Peace, and if you don't like politics, don't watch it and don't gripe about it. Have a great Advent. Goodbye.